Feel free to ask questions along the way. Keep them related to the developer at hand and not so much the game, because we do the updates and game information on Tuesdays at Twitch. And that being said, this is Charles.
Hello.
You do things on Pop Farm. You
I
did
did
things
things
on
on Pop
Farm.
Farm.
Before I get into questions, what am I even doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just want a reward towards the end.
Yeah, I feel underdressed.
I feel like this is the only reason people come on the shows. It's just to drink.
Midday.
Yeah.
Midday, maybe.
No, you don't have to dress. You got like a Firefly shirt on?
Yeah. Well, you know, you gotta show some Greek cred.
Yeah.
Greek cred. That was last. Was that the last interview or the interview before that? You had John.
Oh, yeah. Someone called him out. Are you Greek?
Oh, that's nice.
Second, there's still someone there. Yeah, you requested an IPA, so we are drinking an IPA from Tofino.
Yeah.
Close to home. We gotta even this out.
I went to Tofino once, a little camping sort of.
Did you go surfing?
No.
Missed out.
It wasn't quite the right temperature for that.
It never is Tofino. It's always cold.
Is it always?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
You need a dry suit.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I have been surfing before in Costa Rica.
Were you good at it?
I got like a good like was it 6 foot, 7 foot wave by mistake randomly. Like I was like
by mistake.
Yeah, he was like they literally have a guy who's like basically telling you which waves to get and which waves to like paddle over.
Yeah.
And you know, because it's basically unpredictable, sometimes they screw up and he put me on this massive wave that I was not ready for at all. But I managed to ride it like all the way to the end. It was one of those. It was a great experience.
You gotta go big or go home.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
It wasn't like Point Break or anything, but it was
last wave.
It was pretty hairy at some points. There was sharks in the water as well. That's
really?
What I found out later. He was like, yeah, there's like some sharks come swim by, and I'm like desperately trying to paddle back out to sea to get the next wave, and like seeing fins everywhere as I'm swimming. Like
that's terrifying.
Yeah,
count me out.
It's pretty great place to surf though.
So besides from surfing, what else do you do? Specifically here at Eastside Games.
I am a game designer,
Mm-hmm.
senior game designer. So I'm working on a prototype at the moment for our next game. Cheers.
What are you guys drinking?
Today we have a Hoppin' Cretin IPA from Tofino Brewing Company.
It's very nice.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Are you a big IPA drinker?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Passed down from
Most
the
people
pop.
in Canada seem to be
It's a big thing right
stronger
now.
ales, I think.
So senior design.
Senior game designer, yes, that's my.
And how long have you been here for?
About 3 years.
3 years.
A little less than 3 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a designer on Pop Farm pretty much from the beginning until last year, where I moved on to Grassroots, which is another amazing game from Eastside Games, where I was responsible for new features on that game, so stuff like the vehicles and contests and stuff like that.
Big stuff, big changes.
Yeah, big changes.
Yeah, when I first started here, about a little over a year ago, you were still on Pop Farm.
Yes.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I had some good times on Pop Farm. It's always interesting to be on that kind of production schedule where basically we ship something every week.
Yeah.
And that's going straight to customers every week, every couple of days when I was there with a couple of the designers.
Pretty crazy, yeah.
It's something that's very unique to Eastside Games, I think. I think a lot of other games companies release more monthly, and I know there are some other mobile games that do like weekly events, but they're all like pre-generated. This is handcrafted stuff we're doing.
It's live.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah.
It's
so
pretty
you
good.
must have trained Kiefer. He was
I
here.
did,
Was he your grasshopper?
Yes, he was.
Your little protege?
I guess everyone at that point, was training under me.
Cool.
Which is weird because I'd only been doing it for a couple of months at that point.
Don't tell them that.
Every game is different. So I don't know, I was game design for a while, but everything's different. Every game you go to.
Do we have any questions?
We do. Someone wants to know if you play the game as much as the players do, or do you just work on it?
Oh, like when I was working on it every day. Yeah. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go collect my repeaters and stuff like that. We have to. I don't know how you design that game without loving it and playing it and getting to the point where you can see the frustrations that other players have. Or
you need to know.
As a designer, cause those frustrations because that's kind of part of the game, right? Like if everyone was just happy all the time, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, there needs to be challenges.
There needs to be a challenge. It needs to be different. I mean, I tried very hard to make every theme I worked on very, very different from the last game.
Yeah.
So like stuff like pirates, where you were destroying enemy ships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We really wanted to try that out because we tried damage once before I was there.
On the ranger station?
Yeah, and it was, well, we had Ganjira, right, and he was doing damage to buildings and no one understood what was going on, so I really wanted to try again and make that work. And pirates worked out really, really well. I think that was one of our better themes in the end because everyone loved it. For some reason, everyone universally loved it. I think probably because it's pirates.
Yeah.
But
you can't really mess up pirates. I don't even know if I was here then.
No, I don't think you were.
Yeah. Before my time.
So that was when you had the pirate ship Hydro and you had the ghost pirate ship Hydro, which were the best in the game, and they looked like some of our artists just they blow me away with the stuff they can do.
They kill it.
It's so beautiful. And you know, I'm really hoping that they can show more of the art because it's so constrained in the Facebook world, right? Like it's beautiful when you can see it.
Yeah, like full resolution blown up.
Yeah, they put so much work in.
They're amazing. I love walking by the artist desk and just looking at what they're working on.
Yeah, it's one of the great things about working in.
So you've been in the game industry for a while.
2004, I think.
And how did you get into it in the first place?
How did I get into it? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
It was one of those. Well, let's put it this way. Like my buddy worked for a company called Criterion Games that made this middleware platform. It's like the software you need to make games.
Okay.
They made that stuff, and he was hired straight out of university. I went traveling in Canada after university. I came here and I was, screwing around and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Then went back to England to get a job because I had no money left. And he was like,
I
can get you a job here. And I applied, and then they gave me a programming test. I was an engineer before I was a designer.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a programming test. They interviewed me. First interview was with, some random developer guy, and I didn't think I'd been through 3 or 4 different games company interviews.
Yeah.
And I did not think I was good enough at all. I was just
really
full on. Did not think I was had what it took, because those programming tests are pretty hard. I mean, it's games programming. It's not regular programming. It's low level programming language like C and C++. It's not high level Java and all that. I don't want to bore you with the details, but very, very hard tests to get even to get an interview. And I sort of thought I have no way about this job, and I just got more and more kind of cocky and easygoing.
Yeah.
I was just like, there's no way to give me this job. But I kept on wondering why they kept on bringing me back for interviews. And I was about to go home, and they're like, hey, we want to interview with the general manager of the company, and I was like, do you mind staying over the weekend? And I'm like, and I sort of huffed and puffed a bit. He's like, well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be worth your while.
Yeah.
All right, okay, and then so I went and met with the GM, which was a lovely lady, and she said yes at some point, and then I was in.
Nice.
I was an entry-level software engineer for about 6 months, then became a regular, just passed my probation, and then I was working on a game called Burnout 3.
Oh, Burnout was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have played that before.
Very, very fun game, yeah. That's one of the highlights of my career is working on Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge. That's also where I got this white streak of hair. It's like
stress.
Well,
or speed strip,
We would do. I mean,
like a racing car.
I kind of like. I think it'd be like Reed Richards at some point. I'd go for that.
It kind of leads to my next question.
Yeah.
What? I was going to interrupt you.
You're going to interrupt me?
I'm going to interrupt you. Have we ever thought about bringing the game to a console? And if you could discover a planet, what would you name it?
I like that second question a lot.
That's good. Yes, I've always thought about it. I've always thought about, okay, this would work great on something like Steam or something like that. Or just getting it off, Facebook in a little bit. I mean, I know we're on Facebook right now, but I'm sure they won't mind, putting it on Conquer, or something like that. But it would still be in Flash and there'd still be limitations, but it's just, it's usually just so expensive to do these things, and the logistics of, running the game on one platform, running it on 2 would just double the amount of work that everyone would have to do, right? And so it kind of...
Some of those things people always assume porting a game is an easy thing to do.
No.
Slap it on there.
No, the tools nowadays is getting simpler, but Flash, you can't just throw Flash onto, anything like that. There's a reason why it's always being, it's going to be turned off, Chrome is going to turn it off, and all this kind of... there's a reason for that.
And the second question about the planet, there was actually a planet discovered the other day that was a lot like Earth and in our next neighboring star system.
Cool.
So let's just pretend you're naming that one.
Whoa.
I think it's like K1 or something right now. Say Paul?
Bob.
Bob?
Planet Bob.
Planet Bob?
Yeah. It's a reference to a bad movie.
What movie?
Titan A.
Like the animated one?
They make a new Earth, and like Matt Damon's like, I'm gonna call it Bob.
Blowing my mind right now. That's the movie you remember.
Yeah, I think it's the funniest thing. It's one of those Joss Whedon written scripts. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny little things. I obsess about that stuff. This is like the worst interview ever.
But it's spiraling fast here. I'm flipping through my cards.
Winning.
So throughout your career at games, what is your favorite project then? Besides the pop
Ooh.
Of course.
There's the favorite project where you're just having a nice time and it's not too crazy, and then there's like, what's the best game that you worked on?
What do you take pride in?
What do I take pride in? I think I take pride in everything, but the big, your first game that you ship is always going to be close to your heart. So for me, that I helped on Burnout 3 at some point. It was very minor, but then the game I started on was Burnout Revenge, and that was done in a year. And I started, my entire work from scratch. Like blood, sweat, and tears went into it, and there was lots of dramatic ups and downs. And at one point, I remember there was this development manager who was, had to break the news to me that one of my features was being cancelled, and I just totally broke down in tears because I spent 6 months working
Oh my God.
all night at points, and something about it sticks with you, right? Like and then when you see it on the shelf, back in those days, you bought games in a brick and mortar store.
That's a mom and pop store.
Yeah. Well, it was still EB games. I'm sure it was.
It actually paid off because me and my friends have had many late nights playing Burnout games. Late night, just nothing but Burnout.
I loved Crash Mode. That was one of my. I worked really hard on Crash Mode.
Yeah?
Yeah. There was going to be a golf version of it. I don't know if you played the game. It's all about golf. It was designed around golf, right? Like you start the car and you send it off into the air, right? And you're meant to hit the target car.
Yeah, and causes much
damage, right? So it's golf, and so we wanted to do
that mode was great.
Like a 12. We wanted to do like a whole game, like 18 holes of golf.
Yeah.
And once we start playing through, you're like, no one really wants to play this 18 times with 18 different cars.
I might.
It just got too unwieldy and very expensive to develop. Cut it. And I was like,
Are there any more questions rolling in here?
No questions for the moment.
Okay, I have an easy one. Well, maybe it's not easy, it's simple. What is your favorite game of all time?
Ooh. Right now, the game that comes to mind would be something like Prototype. Which is
Prototype?
An action game.
The one when you're the guy and the cover with the hood and the hook?
Yeah. That was...
Really?
I'm a big superhero fan, so that was the first game I ever felt like I was a superhero.
That game was pretty middling too. It didn't get crazy good reviews. It kind of just happened and went under the rug.
I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but running up a building with a car in your hands and then looking behind you at a monster that's also running up that building and throwing the car at him while still being able to fly off and do something awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I played the other game, which was similar, came around at the same time, which was that one where a guy shot electricity from his hands.
Infamous.
And I tried playing that, and I was like, this is nothing compared to Prototype. You run up to a wire fence and it stops you, and I'm like, nah, this is lame.
Yeah.
So I always went for the Prototype. Plus, my buddy worked on it for a while.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I was always like, I'll give it a try. And I was like, this is great. There's some really good, really clever design in that game.
I might have to go back and play that now.
Yeah, it seems good. I mean, I don't know how well it aged, but back in the day, I thought it was pretty good. I played a lot of it. I completed a lot of that game, but I don't usually. I just play the story missions most of the time.
I'll check that out. Anyways, just wanted to know what your favorite Pop Farm asset is of all time, or ones maybe that you worked on yourself.
I think one of the ones I suggested was a bunny frozen in chocolate for Easter, which I still
like Han Solo.
Yeah, it was that was great. I love the kind of look on the bunny's face. I think that's great. There's so many, and I'm trying to go through them in my head. I think one of my favorites would be the tooth pit one. I think that's pretty.
Oh,
cool.
like the Sarlacc pit kind of style?
I never had that on my farm. I think as a developer, I could like put it on my farm, but I always wanted to earn it somehow, and I've never really found out how anybody actually get it from. But I think it was probably before my time.
It's probably a sci-fi theme.
Yeah, I was playing sci-fi thing before. But...
It's in a Star Wars quest pack, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yes, I'm still working through that. Many years.
We have a question.
Shoot.
Ness would like to know if you could travel back in time to a really fond memory of yours so you could relive it again, what would it be?
Getting hired at Eastside Games.
Getting hired at Eastside. Getting my first job. Let me think. I've been pretty lucky. I've got a lot of things I'd like to relive. I'd like to go back to when I was, 24 and hitchhiking around Canada and that kind of crazy stuff. I went down to the United States for a while as well, and somewhat, under the table, sort of getting jobs that I wasn't meant to have and stuff like that. Was a really, really fun time.
Just by yourself?
Yeah. That was like after university. Like I don't want to be a accountant or a computer programmer. I want to be whatever.
I want to be a dirty hippie.
Yeah, I want to be a dirty hippie. There was this point where I was like in LA and I was staying at a friend's place and it was not the best of circumstances, and that was when I sort of decided to end my, hemp necklace guitar on my back. Go and work like a slave for a year.
I've hitchhiked numerous times, but I'm always terrified that I'm going to get stabbed.
It was full on. I don't think I'd ever do it again. I mean, I relived that point where I didn't care as much now, but I just met some really cool people. Canada, I totally hitchhiked back in those days, no problem. America, I had horrible experiences on the Greyhound bus because I didn't even want to try.
Really?
Hitchhike. I don't think it's legal where you are in America.
Yeah, I know a lot of highways it's not.
No, and it probably was pretty dangerous. But in Canada, being on the Greyhound or hitchhiking or just meeting random people was always very easy and seemed very safe.
Any other questions coming in?
Yes, Simon would like to know what your favorite comic book is.
Do you read comics?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be English. It's called Transmetropolitan. If you've ever seen... Okay, so it's like... Have you seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
You know who Hunter S. Thompson is. It's that kind of character in the future of this like megalopolis city. Yeah. And all the problems are the same kind of human problems, and he's a news reporter and he just wants to get to the truth and stuff. Yeah. And he's doing crazy drugs and
Is it?
I think it'd be good for pop farm people to get into. Yeah. It's
is it older or is it newer?
It's like 90s comic. Okay. And it's set in the future. It's universal. There's no English humor in it. It's all set in America, so it should be pretty universal. That and there's a classic. Batman. Dark Knight Returns is. Yeah. Everyone reads that. As when in my 20s, that was what everyone read, and then they're like, oh, comic books are for adults, and then that opened up. Like there was a Vertigo comic book series, which basically collected all these different comic books, like Sandman, Metropolitan, Dark Knight Returns, like Color Magic, all this kind of stuff, and it was all collected in like adult kind of
like a heavy metal magazine kind of style.
No, it was like all separate books, but they're all available in like Barnes and Noble,
oh, cool.
And you get them for like $10 each. And Preacher is also one.
To read Sandman and Preacher, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Preacher has one of the best endings of anything.
Really?
Yes. The
TV
series is very slow, but I'm still like.
I'm liking the TV series. Liking it a lot.
The guy who is obsessed with meat is a lot more. Like the comic book is a lot more crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. Yeah.
Perfect.
There's lots of serial killers and I'm not going to go into it.
I'll pick it out.
It's too off topic. It's pretty nuts.
So Gilbert is interested in your accent and where you're from and why you chose to live in Vancouver.
My accent is I grew up in the Middle East, in Kuwait. So my accent is colonial English. It's kind of a mixed match of lots of different accents. And now I've been in Canada for about 10 years.
You grew up in the Middle East?
Yes.
Really?
Kuwait.
I did not know that about you.
Yes. It's one of those things I don't really talk about much, mainly because it was like when I was like 1 year old to when I was 10 or so.
Yeah.
So it's not like I remember anything that happened, but there's lots of funny stories about what happened. But you know, I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, that's why. I mean, when I went back to England, like the way I sound now is not the way I should sound if I'm from the northwest of England, right?
Yeah.
Should sound like an oasis like this, you know?
Oh, no.
Talking like.
You just start.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Like, and you know, I can do it, but like, you know, it's very different. So you know, I'm more of a expat type, I guess.
Okay.
You meet other English people. Duncan, the other guy was similar, just expat upbringing. You know, my dad worked in the oil industry, so you know, he went to different countries to work in oil, and they all put you up in houses and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have one final question here. I think you did, kind of.
What was the question again?
Where are you from, and why did you want to live in Vancouver?
Why did I want to live in Vancouver? Well, because I traveled here and I saw that the standard of living was much higher than it was where I was from in the UK, and the games industry here at that time was very, very successful, and there were lots of jobs, and at that time Electronic Arts was very just laissez-faire. They were like, if you want to move to Canada and go work in our other office, have at it. You know, we're making games there. So
cool.
You know, I literally just, you know, after my buddy, the same friend who got me the job in Criterion, making Burnout, had moved there previously, and he kind of sent my resume to the right people and got me to move over and work on. I worked on Need for Speed, a lot of the Need for Speed games.
So a lot of racing games then. A lot of car
Yeah,
games.
you know, once you get pigeonholed as an artist, you know.
Yeah, what can you do, man? What can you do?
That's why I quit EA and I was like, I'm going to work on a pop farming game.
ESG, perfect.
Yeah.
I have one last question from myself.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go back in time and tell your past self one thing, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Invest in Google?
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
No, I'd say literally stay the course. I mean,
Yeah, you turned out all right.
I turned out pretty well.
You seem pretty well rounded.
I mean, Vancouver's a lovely place to end up.
Yeah,
It's
pretty great. Any other questions before we wrap this thing up?
Someone wanted to know how tall you were and why you chose to be a designer.
Did it impact your choice to become a designer?
why did I choose to become a designer? I guess once you've been in the industry for a long time, you kind of see how things work. And I started getting frustrated that the things I was working on weren't to my definition of quality, I guess. That sounds horrible, but that was I just get very frustrated where I could see, I would make something and then the designer would come along and be like, no, you change it so it's like this now. I'm like, I could have told you that a month ago. Like, you know. And then it just started to be like I would get more involved in design meetings, or I actually started pitching ideas, some of which were accepted and gone into like prototyping. So I was just one of those guys. You know, I think that's what we do here. We actually do Swan Spill, and you know, one day they did it, and they were like, okay, like everyone submit ideas. Your studio needs to make a next big game. And I submitted like 18 or 19 or something ideas, which I was just like, these are all the things that I want to make in my spare time, but I'm never going to make because I'm too lazy. And one of them was, this kind of mobile top-down spaceship shooter type game, and that was in line with some IP that EA wanted to spin up again. So it just kind of turned into me being like, okay, like we're going to start this, and then they shut the studio down and everything stopped. It was exciting, and I was like, oh, let's do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was very fun.
And how tall are you?
6. I'm 6'1".
6'1".
I don't know if that made any difference in my career. Maybe it did. Maybe I stood out more.
That extra inch, not one little inch.
Yeah.
Anything else coming in?
People are commenting on your hair, Dank. Looks very nice.
Oh, thanks everyone.
What shampoo do you use? Does it take you very long to style it?
I wake up in the morning and roll out of bed. Like, actually, I use really cheap shampoo. Like,
you just use the body wash thing. Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is. I actually don't know. It seems to work.
Yeah.
Keep the questions about the guest, by the way.
That's
hair.
That's it, pretty much.
My star power is waned.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
It was lovely.
Am I the first designer that's been on? I don't know. Surely you must have had like Cam or.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam was on.
Yeah, okay.
We have
There's a designer.
Daniel.
obviously still-
Daniel was on.
yes, Daniel was on.
Oh, did I just
We're gonna have a couple more designers on, I believe, next week. Kiefer is gonna make a stop by at some point to interview him. We can get to know his past life, where he came from, his problems with his parents. Maybe we can dig up that.
That's gonna be
Figure
a
out
3-hour
what makes
show.
Kiefer. We'll start at his birth and work our way up to now.
See a human being fall apart.
I want to break him on camera.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. No, but thanks. It was great.
Yeah.
Tune in next week again, every Thursday, 2:20 PT. And that's all we have. So, Pop Farm. Cheers.
Cheers.